Hello everyone and welcome to Bracket Breakpoint 2 Electric Boogaloo. I'm your host once again, Patrick, perfect bracket through 0 round Shaw. And with me today is a panel of experts like the world has never seen assembled together in one video. Together, we are going to break down the upcoming Goliath Gauntlet 2 tournament and introduce the world to the players. Introduce the world to the players, yes. And we'll break down our brackets to pick our winners. Will anyone come close? Probably not, but that's okay. First round of this tournament will begin airing this Friday, January 20th on 983 Media. Are we associated in any way with them? No. Do they even know that we were doing this? Only till recently. Are they endorsing us in any way? Absolutely not. But let's introduce our majestic panel. First, leaping out of the monastery and into our hearts, it is Carolina Glock Alvarado. Carolina, welcome to the Bracket Breakpoint.
Thank you. I'm great at shooting pistols and horrible at fantasy sports. I'm going to be absolutely horrendous at this.
Then you fit right in. Next, you know him, you love him. He'll ride the coattails of picking Mansant over Pintor until he dies. It is Tommy 2 Takes Fresh. Tommy, happy to have you back.
Thank you for having me back. And, well, you know what? With hair like Ethan's, I would gladly ride those coattails all day and all night long. So thank you for having me.
And thank you once again. Another new face with us. Her pitch is perfect, but how about her picks? It's Elaine, the Brain Hammondry. Happy birthday, Elaine.
Thank you. Hi, I'm happy to be here. I'm really excited. I think my picks are perfect, but that's to be determined.
It is indeed, and we'll break them down soon. Following her, he's tall and polite, and he picks Canadians. It's Adam the Stash Philipchuk. Adam, welcome.
How's it going, Pat? I'm excited to be here.
Yes, you are. I can see it. You wear your emotions on your sleeve, and that's okay. Last but not least, he pre-gamed, he'll post-game, and is presently gaming from Flesh and Blood. It is Logan, sure, I'll bet on that, Peterson.
I will take virtually any bet that you throw at me. And yes, I have been pre-gaming. I am currently gaming. I will be post-gaming. This will be a two-beer show, but remember, hashtag no free ads.
Now, let's get to brass tacks. The Goliath Gauntlet is a tournament of 16 players and content creators from around the world competing in a winner-take-all single elimination tournament to determine who is the best player in the world. There is a non-zero amount of cash and prizes on the line as webcams are used, sometimes for the first time ever, to host paper games of Flesh and Blood, classic constructed over the next several weeks. Last tournament's winner was Majin Bey, or as I like to refer to him as, the most disrespected player in the tournament. This time around, we have 16 players, some returning, some new to face off once again. We had fun pretending that they were seeded last year, but we know that these matchups have been determined at random, which perfectly explains the rematch for the championship in the opening round. But let's start off by introducing everyone to the competitors. Carolina, tell us about Josh Lau.
Josh Lau. Well, what can we say about Josh Lau? Josh Lau is a notorious warrior main. Some might say he is one of the best Bolton players out there right now. He does have quite a matchup in his first round, so let's see where he goes from there. If he gets through that, he's one to beat.
He does have the merch. Lumina does go Boomina when it comes to Josh Lau. Tommy Fresh, his opponent in the opening round, Viet Pham. What do you got?
So Viet Pham is a player that's quiet yet deadly, right? We have this player who has done, great things at Worlds, at German Nationals, and honestly, I think he has what it takes to really go the distance. Though his first round opponent, Josh Lau, is a tough one.
Is indeed the next matchup in the. That is the first matchup in we'll call it the East. In the second matchup, we have Nathan Crawford. Elaine, tell us about Nathan Crawford.
So Nathan Crawford is a member of the Card Guys and someone I would consider a Roomblade extraordinaire. He actually just took down a Pro Quest with Briar, going 8-0, which means he has now won a Pro Quest with every single Roomblade. He's had quite a year, quite an insane year, I would say, in Flesh and Blood. He finished 13th at US Nationals, 10th at the Calling Indianapolis, 13th at the Calling Lille, and 21st at the Calling San Jose, and managed to make day 2 of both Pro Tours. I mean, like, what a year in Flesh and Blood. These records, I think, speak for themselves. His win-loss record for rated events this year was 142 wins and 60 losses, which is over 200 matches, rated matches. I think that's absolutely mind-blowing. Nathan is a dominant player in the Roomblade space and someone I personally take deck techs from every time he talks about Briar, so I'm excited to see his performance in the Goliath Gauntlet. I think he definitely deserves a spot here.
Excellent. Some people are just better at this game than others. Adam, his opponent is one of those people, Chris Yali.
Yeah, Chris Yali has been a member of formerly Team Top Deck Keep, now The Experience, for a while now, and has been kind of running around the circuit, coming just close to really having a good finish until he came along at Worlds with his Briar deck, and everybody remembers his run all the way to the finals against Michael Hamilton himself. Since then, Yali's had a pretty good performance in this recent ProQuest season. Yali's definitely somebody to look out for in this tournament.
Definitely one of the spicier matchups in the tournament. Moving on to match number 3, Logan, we have Brody Spurlock starting things off.
Yeah, Brody's already a legend, and this kid's only 17 years old. I was also a legend at 17, but for nothing positive. But this kid has come in here immediately, 16 years old, bam, PTI, wins a battle hardened. He comes from that, let's go ahead and just do a bunch more top 8s until we get to US Nats, coming in top 8 US Nats, cashing in another PTI, and also coming in the top 8 in the last battle hardened at the Realm Games. Again, hashtag no free ads, but we love you, Keith. This kid is going to be great for a while, and the scary part is he might not be the best Flesh and Blood player in his family because his testing partner is his mother, who has probably just waxed all of us without even trying. This kid is going to keep making waves for years, and we're going to keep watching him, and he may be a sneaky pick to win this entire gauntlet.
Absolutely, and he is super tall, but not as tall as his opponent, the Tall Timmy. Team! When he's not cracking packs on YouTube, he's cracking jaws with the Romping Club. This Reinar fanatic is one of the most prolific content creators in Flesh and Blood, and has recently got his chops up, and it's time to test them out. He got a tall test against Spurlock coming up here. The next matchup is going to be a championship rematch where Majin Bey is off against DM Armada. Majin Bey is on Revenge Tour 2023. He was picked to lose in the first round of the last tournament in practically every bracket, and then he won the whole thing. He's a Pro Tour qualifier, he's a Nationals qualifier, he's a Worlds qualifier, and he's defending Goliath Gauntlet champ. People got to start respecting him because you got to beat the man in order to be the man. Now, his opponent, DM Armada. Carolina, tell me about DM.
DM Armada is a great man. DM Armada is a great I lost all of my notes about DM Armada, but DM Armada is coming in first straight.
We stand Steven's Cook is
We
love Steven. He had no business taking it all the way to the finals, but he did it, and he did it on an innovative Drill My List.
Do not sleep on Steven Cookus. We stand Steven Cookus in this household. He's a wonderful man, a great band teacher, and I think that he will keep tuning it up to take down the Goliath Gauntlet and not a second place finish this time.
And there's no stopping this train. We roll right on to the Western bracket where Bartosz Ziemba is starting things off. Tommy.
Bartosz is a excellent player, has really gotten his chops in Pro Tour Lille and Poland Nationals. This is a player much like Vietfam, quiet but deadly. I would look out for players like this. They really are true and tested into the field, and I think they're going to surprise us.
Excellent. His opponent is the legendary altar artist Mara Ferris Elaine. Tell us about Mara.
Yep. The behind Blackwing Studio. Mara is a really talented altar artist for TCGs, but did you guys know that she's just as good at playing the cards than she is at painting them? Mara started playing Flesh and Blood when Everfest came out and immediately showed her skill when she made Day 2 of New Jersey shortly after she started playing. She then attended Nationals where she also made Day 2 and played in the Calling San Jose. She was qualified for Pro Tour Lille after winning a protest, but unfortunately couldn't attend. We actually share local terrain, and she's constantly in the top 8 around here and is a real killer in our community. Mara played, I think, one of the craziest draft games I've ever seen on stream at US Nationals. She was on Dromai playing against a Phi, down 13-14, and came back to win that match. So then she was deemed the Black Widow by Flake after that, and she's been a real contender for the Goliath Gauntlet this season. I'm really excited to see what she brings to the table.
Absolutely, and for those in the know, I would pay very close attention to her and the deck that she brings to this tournament. She's definitely going to start turning some heads with it. Next up, probably one of the most competitive matchups in the whole tournament. Adam, we got Tarek Patel.
Yeah, where do you start with Tarek? I mean, my fellow Canadian.
Probably Canada with you, huh?
Yeah. Initially made a name for himself at US Nats, though, where he took down the whole thing on his Cheerios Briar list. Since then, he's been tearing it up across multiple events and has also taken down our Canadian nationals, the only man to have a national title in 2 different countries. This is his second time in the Goliath Gauntlet. He put up a good showing the first time, and I expect him to put up just as good of a showing this time.
In order to do that, he'll have to take on Dan Rutkowski. Logan, tell us about Dan.
Dan Rutkowski is a beast. He first popped on the scene with Chain at the Battle Hardened SCG Con, and with a second place finish, earning himself a PTI, and then Phi came. And this man is a Phi legend. He plays the deck more than anyone else. He knows the deck inside and out. Runner-up at US Nationals, coming in second to the GOAT, Michael Hamilton, and then goes ahead and comes back and a third place finish at Worlds. Again, incredible. This person has found their niche. They know what they're doing, and they're going to be a very hard out in this tournament if they just keep playing and keep playing tight like they have for the last year. We have these sneaky picks, these names that aren't as splashy, these people that aren't Michael Hamilton, that aren't Tarek Two Belts, and sometimes they're the ones to look at. Look at Majin Bay last year, last Gauntlet. These are the same type of things where these people are better than you think. Just because they're not quite a household name doesn't mean they won't be.
Speaking of people who are better than everyone else at playing this game, the next matchup features some of the literal GOATs. First off, Michael Hamilton. Adam, tell us about the champ.
Yeah, Pat, if you don't know who Hamilton is at this point, I hope the rock you live under is cozy. Because he is a 2-time calling champion, he is a battle-hardened champion, he is the US national champion, and he is our world champion. You can always feel comfortable putting your money on Hamilton. And Rogers is also the GOAT, but you can't feel bad siding with Hamilton.
No,
Ever.
there's no wrong choice here unless you pick a loser in the Hamilton-Rogers matchup. Matt Rogers of Team Dragon Shield, one of 2 members of Team Dragon Shield on this side of the bracket as well. 2-time national championship winner from New Zealand, the original GOAT. And facing off first round against Michael Hamilton, it'll be definitely a tough matchup for both of them. Moving on to the last matchup in the tournament, we have Pete Budensiek. Carolina, tell us about that guy.
Peter Budensiek is a Battle Hardened Dallas winner who came out and won Battle Hardened Dallas on Phi. He is currently ranked 83 in limited ELO, but was once ranked 11th in limited elo, and cracked the top 100 at Worlds. He is currently first match up with Hayden Dale, which is something to watch.
Speaking of Hayden Dale, Tommy Fresh, tell us what the Australian handsome guy is.
Please do.
He's from New Zealand, but that's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Tell me what Hayden Dale from New Zealand is going to be doing.
He does live in Australia, and geez, this time of year it is hot in Australia, and so is he. So what can we say about Hayden that hasn't been said already? He's hot. He's good at the game. I think this is his tournament to win. I'm riding Hayden all the way to the end here, and I have no regrets about it.
I think we'd all love to ride Hayden somewhere around here. There is a lot of iconic players with lots of signature decks. When you think about these people, you think about the heroes that they play. Elaine, give me your first impressions of the players in the tournament and what they could likely bring to the game here.
I'm going to be honest. I was really excited when I saw the bracket for the Goliath Gauntlet this season. I think, like Logan said, there's a lot of sneaky picks in here. Particularly, some of my favorite players that I've been huge fans of, Brody Spurlock and Josh Lau. Two of my favorite players. They're both fantastic people. I think they're really smart players. Both I met early on in my gameplay career and inspired me a lot. So I'm really excited to see them in this position, really excited to see how far they go in this tournament. I'm just excited for the sneaky picks, to be honest, including Mara, Brody, Josh Lau, Nathan Crawford, these people who have been very influential on my personal career that I haven't really been able to see in spotlights such as the Goliath Gauntlet until now.
Excellent. And speaking of sneaky picks, Tommy, at first glance, this is a much meatier list than the first tournament. But then again, the finals was played. The finals was one that no one could have really imagined when we first started. Give me your pick for favorite to win and least favorite player.
Geez, this is a tough question because I did just say Hayden. I got Hayden going to the end, but I would look out for Michael Hamilton. His competitive spirit is so strong, and I have a feeling, and I don't want to speak for him, but I have a feeling he's stewing that he did not win the last one, and he's here to win this one. So I would not be surprised if we see some ruthlessness from Michael Hamilton. My the least favorite here, it's a little tough to pick a least favorite. I don't want to say the tall Timmy because I know he's going to be running some brute magic and he's probably going to have the most fun out of everybody. But Caleb, I'm going to say you're the least favorite so that maybe you repeat this time.
Logan, we've objectified Hayden Dale aggressively already. He was essentially voted the most handsome of the first edition. Is he still holding that crown here?
Look, there are some rockets in this bracket right now. Some instant smashes. Majin Bay, Caleb's an instant smash. Hayden, obviously, everybody's pushing that button. There's not a single person alive that would just go, no, I'm passing on that. It doesn't matter what you see. It doesn't matter what you're into. You're into Hayden Dale, believe me. But there's also the sneaky things like the tall Timmy. Come on now. That man is nothing but pure, beautiful, blossoming man meat. So there's a lot of competition here, but still, the instant smash, the absolute smash that button as soon as you see it, no one is ever passing, is still Hayden Dale.
All right, lightning round around the table. Spurlock is out of eligibility here. Who's the instant smash for each of us? Adam, you're next. Who's the instant smash here? You gotta think on your toes.
Let's go,
Patel.
Patel.
Your toes are feeling, buddy.
Patel's a solid choice. Elaine, instant smash.
Tall Timmy.
A solid choice as well. Tommy,
Rock
instant
solid,
smash.
one might say.
Geez. I'm going with a local bud here. Dan Rakowski, if you're watching, let's do it.
He's quiet. He's probably got a really dark side. Carolina, the instant smash.
I am a Mara Ferris simp, okay? I have her art tattooed on my body. Mara Ferris, instant smash. Instant
Empress,
smash.
the Empress is your smash. I mean, I don't hate it.
Ooh.
I don't hate it.
All hail.
Hate it.
Mara, if you're listening, I love you.
We all love you.
I'm just saying Majin Bey is a well-groomed man.
Oh, Jesus,
Smashy
Caleb.
smash.
No
Caleb is
comment.
the thing. I have shared a golf bay with that man, and sometimes you stare at that perfect form while he has that club in his hand, coming through that ball like he knows his business,
Doing
like
picklebacks, yeah.
doing picklebacks like he doesn't even care.
We can
That
all
man-
relate. We can all relate. All right.
Love you.
Did you smash, Pat? Did you smash?
Yeah, Majin Bey. Majin Bey. I would instant smash.
Oh,
Majin
right.
Bey. Yeah,
Instant smash Majin Bey. Yeah, okay.
Really, the list is much shorter of who I wouldn't. Let's just put it that way. All right. All right. We are going to get into we are going to get into the brackets. All right. So we are going to so the way this is going to work is I don't care if you start on the west or the east, but you're going to start on the outside. You're going to work your way in. You're going to pick a champ. And through the magic of editing, Tommy, are you ready to start us off with your bracket breakdown?
Absolutely.
Here we go.
Pat.
Go for it.
I have Mara taking the win against Ziemba. I have Rakowski smashing two-belt Tarek. I have Hamilton giving old man Rogers the run for his money. And then I have Hayden Dale beating Pete. That's on one side. Then going on to the other side, I have Josh Lau taking Viet Pham. I have Yali taking Crawford. I have the tall Timmy smashing Spurlock. Just be honest, Spurlock is grounded. And then I have DM Armada getting revenge against Majin Bey. And then coming back to the other side, I have Rakowski taking Forrest. I have Hamilton beating Hayden Dale. No, I have Dale beating Hamilton. Sorry. And then I have Lau beating Ayali. I have Tall Timmy beating DM Armada. And then getting to the finals, I have Dale beating Rakowski. And then I have Josh Lau beating the Tall Timmy to get to the finals. And then the Tall Timmy wins.
A Tall Timmy wins. Okay, all right. You got Tall Timmy. That is a spicy pick to win it all. We'll see if that if we can follow through on that.
You know, washboard abs don't necessarily make a champion. You know that, right?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, but it sure does help, Logan. God damn it.
Daddy before Zaddy. Let's go.
Next up to break down their bracket is Elaine. Elaine, are you ready?
Yeah.
And go for it.
All right, so I got Forrest Mara taking the win against Ziemba, and then we got Two Belts Patel taking the win against.
There we go. Yeah.
All right, I got Hamilton taking it over Rogers, and Hayden Dale taking it over Budinciak. Okay, then we're gonna go over to the east. I got my man Josh Lau, Warrior Main, woohoo, taking the win against Bam. Nathan Crawford taking the win against Yali. Yeah, I don't. Sorry, guys. Brody Spurlock taking it against Tall Timmy. Tall Timmy, I love you, but I'm sticking with Brody here. I want DM Armada to take the win against Majin Bey. We stand Stephen Cookus in this household. We've already said that, but I'm sticking to it. Heading back over to the west, I have Mara. I'm pulling for you all the way. I want you to take the win against Two Belts Patel. I'm sorry, Tarek, but I'm pulling for my girl Mara here. I got Hamilton taking it over Hayden Dale. Once again, I apologize, but it's just the way it's got to be. Then heading back over to the east, we got the Card Guys Showdown, Crawford against Lau. I really want Lau to take it here. I'm just standing Warrior here. I'd like to see Warrior go all the way. I got Spurlock taking it against DM Armada. Let's see, semifinals. We got Hamilton against Mara. I think Hamilton's gonna take that and head on to the finals, and then I'm gonna guess that Spurlock is gonna take it over Josh Lau. So we got a Hamilton Spurlock finals, and I would really like to see Brody take the entire thing. I'm picking Spurlock for my winner.
All right, moving on down the line, Mr. Philip Chuck, are you ready to break it down?
You know what, Pat? Just like Carolina, I didn't do my homework in advance, but I did it on the fly. We're ready to go.
All right.
I've got.
Hold on. Ready and go.
So first off, on the West, I've got Ziemba taking it over Mara. I'm sorry, Mara. Ziemba's he's on fire right now. I don't think there's anything that can stop him. Next up, I got to side with Patel. He's my boy, Team Canada. I'm hoping to see him take it over Rakowski. Hamilton and Rogers, an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object. I still got to side with Hamilton. If they both show up with their signature heroes, I think Icelander takes it. When we Peter versus Hayden Dale, I've met Peter, super nice guy. I really want to see him do well in this game. I'm siding with Peter. I think he's got the chops to surprise everybody in this one. Moving on over to the East, Lau versus Fam. I heard that Fam net decked his Worlds deck.
So
I got to side with Fam.
And
no, my point. No.
You chose an optimal build, Adam? Huh? What?
No.
Can I buy drugs from you?
He was able to just pick up a deck out of nowhere, grab a sideboard guide, and just fly with it. The fact that he can just pick up anything like that.
You're saying it like a good
so
thing.
Impressive.
I tell you what, you were a little aggressive. Had us there in the first half. All right.
I thought we were about to get a little controversial.
Yeah. All right. And we're back. Keep going.
No, I'm trying to say I'm mad impressed with Fam, what I've seen from him so far. I gotta say Fam over Lau. Crawford versus Yali, Battle of the Rune Blades. I think Yali's out for blood right now. He wants to show that he can take down the title. I got Yali taking it over Crawford. Spurlock and the Tall Timmy. Sorry, Timmy. It's going to be Spurlock in this one. And then Majin Bay versus DM Armada, the rematch. Once again, I think Majin Bay is going to upset the DM Armada fans here. I think Majin Bay is moving on to the quarter, or I don't know.
Semis.
Moving on to the next round.
Yeah. Will.
Back over to the West. I've got Ziemba versus Patel, and we're siding with the Canadian boy again. Patel's moving on in that round. Hamilton versus Bedensiak. Unfortunately, I think Peter's run comes to an end, and Hamilton moves on. I've got Fam versus Yali, with Fam taking it, and then Spurlock versus Majin Bay. I'm siding with Spurlock again. Following that, I've got Fam versus Spurlock, and I think Fam's gonna go to the finals there. Hamilton versus Patel. Unfortunately, even though he's my boy, he's Canadian, Hamilton's just Hamilton. I think Hamilton takes it there, and then I think Hamilton versus Fam in that rematch from the top 8. Hamilton takes it overall. That's
pick for Hamilton. Is Fam
another
is Fam
pick for Hamilton?
Sink below an Arsenal? Is that
that's the one? Yeah.
Oh,
yep,
God.
that was one.
Oh, he's got incentive. He's got incentive to get up there. He's got to get that vengeance. All right, moving right along. The train is rolling. Logan, are you ready?
I am. I like that Stan Philipchuk over there burned his Canadian flag finally. It only took 2 of these episodes for him to take care of it. But in the Ziemba Ferris matchup, I've got Mara here, basically because 1, she is the Empress of Dragons, and 2, she has a take on the deck and a take on playing the deck that people will not see coming initially. And as it becomes a little bit more of a known quantity, maybe she loses some percentage. But right now, on the beginning of this, she's going to slap some people, and it's going to be aggressive, and it's going to be ugly. I've got Tarek 2 belts winning, not because I'm a Canadian stan, but because the dude has 2 belts. It has nothing to do with being a Canadian. Hamilton Rogers, I have been on wax, and Matt, I love you. You're a good person, but I don't think you're as good as the GOAT. So I've got Hamilton winning here. Pete and Hayden, I'm going to simp for Hayden until the day I die. That is just something that all of us are aspiring to do because there's no other choice. But I think Pete takes this one. Hayden has talked about himself being washed before, and I think once that gets into your head, it starts to affect your play a little bit. On the other side, we got I think Viet Pham is a good pick here. I think that we have an opportunity to Lumina not go Boomina, and instead the Warrior deck will implode. I do love myself some Warrior, but her name is Kasai, not Bolton. We're going to go to the Crawford Yali match, and Yali is a pretty big master of the Rune Blade right here. He does play those decks super efficiently. The hardest part of those decks to me is knowing when to block and when to not, and he seems to know when to block, which is basically never. Go to Spurlock, Tall Timmy. Gimme Brody. Tall Timmy, you are a mountain, but Brody looks like a climber. And he will, so does Elaine, but that's not the point. But we're going to get to the top of this, and he is going to move on. Majin Bay DM Armada. So here's the key here. Only one person in this entire bracket has lost to me in a game of Talishar, and Caleb, sorry, it was you, and I was hammered. I'm going to take DM Armada in this one. Maybe I just play better drunk, but that is not the object of this thing. Going back over, we're going to take Mara over Tarek. I think that, again, the known quantity won't have come out yet, and Mara will not glide to the semifinals. It'll be a very difficult match, but it'll be a lot of expert play, and that is probably going to be, in my mind, the match of the bracket. The one that you want to go back and watch and learn 2 clinics on how to play 2 different decks in 2 different ways to an outcome that no one sees coming. Hamilton and Pete, GOAT is gonna GOAT. I've got him giving him, going straight to the semis. On the other side of this, Yali, again, the guy is efficient, and as long as the deck does not beat him, he will beat you. That is how this will work. Brody versus DM Armada. Brody, your time is up, sir. You had a good run, but we stand Stephen Cookus in this household. And he's got your number, and that number is 13. You're out, buddy. You're done. 187 on a Brody Spurlock. That is not legal, by the way. Do not commit that crime. Elaine, I'm looking at you. Coming back over, I've got Mara versus Hamilton. I think this is where Mara's run ends. I think that Hamilton's got her here. Not because Hamilton's necessarily the superior player, but the surprise factor is gone. And Mara's deck is a little more of a known quantity, and how she plays it is more of a known quantity, and Hamilton is an expert. Look at the matchup with the Sink Below. He is an expert at dissecting situations and knowing what the play is, and he will use that to his advantage and make his way to the finals. On the other side, we stand Stephen Cookus in this house. He is going to make it to the finals. He's going to be there again. You know who's going to be the champion of this thing? Stephen Cookus. DM Armada is going to upset Michael Hamilton in the finals. He's going to get revenge for Goliath Gauntlet 1 and take home the trophy in Goliath Gauntlet 2. Book it.
We've got, you were a gambling man picking DM Armada to win the whole thing. I like it. High risk, high reward. All right, let's move on to Self. Self, are you ready to break it down? I think I am. Let's go to my bracket here. We're starting on the west side. We have Ziemba and Ferris. I've got Ferris taking it over the Polish champ. Where you go down to Patel versus Rakowski. I got Rakowski. They're probably going to be it's probably going to be the Phi mirror, and Rakowski's just the better Phi. If we're being honest, Hamilton versus Rogers. I got Rogers taking it over the GOAT. The Rogers Revenge Tour for taking the GOAT status back begins now. Budin Siek versus Hayden Dale. I've got Dale taking it on him. Going over to the east, Lau versus Pham. I've got Pham taking it over Lau. Crawford versus Yali. Yali takes it in the Runeblade matchup. Spurlock over Tall Timmy. I've also got Spurlock in Majin Bay versus DM Armada. We do not stand Stephen Cookus in this house because we are realists. We take Majin Bay in that one. Going back to the semis on the west side, Ferris versus Rakowski. I've got Ferris taking it over Dan in that one. Rogers versus Dale. I've got Hayden Dale taking it there. Going back to the east, it is Pham versus Iyali, and Iyali takes that one. Spurlock and Majin Bay. Spurlock taking it, making it a we have the West Finals being Ferris versus Dale. I've got Ferris going to the finals over Hayden and Yali Spurlock. I've got Spurlock taking it over Yali in the East, meaning the finals is Ferris versus Spurlock, and I've got Mara Ferris winning the whole freaking thing, because I believe in Mara. All right.
And Dragon.
I have seen it. I have the cards in front of me because I have been inspired to build it myself. And I don't play illusionists at all. So, but I'm gonna give this one a shot. All right, Carolina, I have stalled for as much time as I can. Are we ready?
Yes, I took notes, but they're actually kind of confusing, so we're not even going to read them.
Okay, ready, and go for it.
Okay, so we have Zumba versus Ferris. Ferris takes that one easy. No shot. No shot. I don't even need to explain it. Ferris wins. Okay. Then we got Patel versus Rutkowski. Patel takes that. Point blank. Then we have Hamilton versus Rogers, and I am biased on this. Hamilton wins. No need to explain. Hamilton wins. Then we got Budensky versus Dale, and wild card. Budensik wins. There we go. I got that right. Okay. Going on to the next side, we got Fam versus Lau. Fam takes that easy. Crawford versus Yali. Yeah. Crawford takes that. No shot. Spurlock versus the tall Timmy. Listen, I'm a simp, but I also know who plays well. Spurlock takes that. 100%. Majin Bay versus DM Armada. I do love a redemption arc, so DM Armada takes that. Easy. Then going back to the other side, we have Ferris versus Patel. That is a pretty strong matchup, if I do say so myself, but Ferris is going to take that because I'm playing favorites. Then we have Hamilton versus Budensik. Hamilton's going to take that. Right? Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, Hamilton's taking that. Other side, we have Lau versus Crawford. Then, Crawford's taking that. Crawford is taking that. Then we have DM Armada versus Spurlock. Spurlock's taking that. DM Armada, you had a nice run. Spurlock's taking that. Then, next on to the other side, who won?
Who did win?
Going back to my notes. We have Ferris versus Hamilton. That is a really good question. Hamilton is taking that one. Then, going on to the other side, we have Crawford versus Spurlock. Tough decisions. Spurlock is taking that. That means the finals is Hamilton and Spurlock. Whoa! Who's gonna take that? Spurlock is winning it all. The crowd goes wild. The youngest Goliath Gauntlet winner in the world. And the crowd goes wild. He wins whatever he wins. Bragging rights. A later curfew.
There's a lot of money.
There's some money on the line.
A lot of money and like.
Oh my god! If Spurlock wins this, I will buy him a new hoodie.
He a 501c3 charity himself as being 17 years old.
He's going to go to a real nice college if he wins here. Maybe
even Amherst. I don't know.
How much do we know how much the winner gets? I know it was like 2,000 in the last one.
You act like I pay attention. You asked me to come on these shows.
You said a lot of money. I was just assuming you
had a lot of money.
It's non-zero.
What's the money?
It's more than I would pay.
Is it $10?
Just the
$12.
I think I believe the last one had a $2,000 first prize.
I paid $1,000 for a lore book, so it's less than that.
Okay, all right.
Or it's more than that.
$999.
All right, so
okay,
there is moving. We're rounding the bases here. There is not. We have a pretty wide spread here between winners picks. So I don't think there's a real consensus here, which is great. But let's go around real quick. Most anticipated opening match. I'm going to start with. Logan, what is your most anticipated opening match of the tournament?
It's Majin versus DM Armada. It's Caleb and Stephen Cookus in the repeat of the finals of the first Goliath Gauntlet in round 1. Like, why? I understand you call this random, but that's not random.
Yep, I call bullshit as well.
That is 100% bullshit, and I'm glad that you said it because I didn't know if I could say it. But that is 100% bullshit, and that is something to draw eyes, to draw clicks, to draw views, and I'm not mad. No free ads. But in this case, I think that this is, that first one was actually quite a good matchup to watch. They both played amazing throughout the entire gauntlet. And in this case, I think that that's the matchup that is the most interesting in this bracket because whoever comes out of that actually has a realistic chance to win it. They both have shown that they take the format well. They understand what's coming at them. They both innovated on deck lists. They kind of became known for what they did differently with their deck lists when they came in. And my guess is they're not going to keep doing the same thing. They both are seasoned veterans in the space. Majin is a hell of a Runeterra player. And DM Ramada's seen it all behind the coverage desk. I do say. I'm the only person that believed in Caleb last time. And you damn sure bet that I believe in him this time to lose to DM Armada, sadly, because I stand Stephen Cookus in this household. But in this household. And so I really think that this is the one to watch. I think that this is more important than the other matchups that are out there because these are two people that value this. These are two people that need this as far as, the clout, the recognition, the name, and the name as a player in this sphere is important to this matchup. And I think that that's why DM Armada kind of has a lot more to play for here, because if he can take Majin Bay down, revenge, a little revenge, he ends up in a better spot. And I think that that's why he is, in my mind, favored to go all the way in this.
Thank you, Logan. Carolina was on the edge of her seat with that one. Carolina, most anticipated opening match.
It is going to have to be DM Armada and Majin Bay because I do love rematches. Rematches are my favorite thing in the world to watch, and I am so excited for DM Armada's redemption arc.
Excellent. Tommy, what do you got? Most anticipated opening matchup.
Geez, this is a tough one. I was going to say Tall Timmy Spurlock, but you know what? We know Tall Timmy's taking that one. So I think Patel Rakowski is going to be the most interesting opening match, right? You got Patel, two belt Tark, and then Rakowski. I mean, he is, in my opinion, the best player in this bracket, right? And I think
Tark, 2 belts. Tark 2
belts.
belts.
Two belts. It's Tark 2 belts.
Tark 2 belts.
Okay.
2 belt Tark. Sorry.
It's
Tark 2 belts.
I don't know.
but in my opinion, Rakowski's the best player in this bracket. That doesn't mean he's going to win the whole thing, but I do think this is where he really starts to make a name for himself. He already started with Nats and his run at Worlds, and you know what? It's not going to stop here. He's not a sneaky pick. I think this is the player you got to start looking out for.
I mean, he still doesn't have the name recognition, but I do get where you're going with this. He was
on this podcast I listened to called Fresh and Buds last week, and it was it was such an interesting conversation
to get through that show. Though it's just like this one person droning on and on and on. There's no video, and then somebody just suddenly kind of says something with a
there is
video now.
There is video.
That shows you how long he hasn't tuned into.
Maybe the host is more handsome than I remember, and there's something for me to take along to the bank on the way, but as of right now it is it's Fresh and Buds. I mean, they had some idiot named Logan on there once, which is the dumbest thing they've ever done in their lives. So
speaking of handsome hosts, I'm right here and I need to know Adam's opinion on most anticipated opening matchup.
You know what? Unlike Tommy, I'm excited for the Tall Timmy Spurlock match because I view this as the Pintor Mansant of this tournament.
It's turning out to be that way.
But I think if anybody's got something up their sleeve that could just be diabolically interesting to pull off, if it pulls off, it's going to be Tall Timmy. I'm sure he's sitting there trying to go, what's the most out there thing he can do with his brute? And I'm excited to see what it is. Are we going to see him try a berserk brute or something like that?
Brutes do smash, they don't pass.
Because the thing is, if he pulls it off, it will be Tall Timmy that takes it.
Timmy can smash good. Elaine, most anticipated opening matchup.
I gotta go with Carolina and Logan here and agree that it's Majin Bay and Team Armada. I really want to see this game again. I think it's hard to beat someone twice. I'll be honest, like it's hard to beat someone twice in a tournament. And so I'm really interested to see this. I really want Stephen Cookus to come out on top here. Come on, DM Armada, we are all pulling for you back home. Woohoo! We stand Stephen Cookus in this household, and I want to see this matchup. Like, they both played really, really well in the Goliath Gauntlet. It was really exciting to watch their games. I'm just excited to see this again.
Excellent. And I'm gonna say for myself, it is Ziemba versus Ferris, because I do believe that this is going to be a bit of a glamorous debut for Mara and her deck, and the way that she plays in a much greater capacity than even I know she was featured on a few streams here, but I think this is gonna be big for her. She's my favorite to win, and it starts with that match, and I think she'll be the story of the tournament. So that's where I'm going with my pick there. All right, so we've done it. We made it through. So what we're gonna do is say thank you everybody for coming along for this ride. It happens so fast, but it's still we're about to turn the corner on 50 minutes of just high octane, just firepower. So, it takes a village. So I want to thank everybody for coming on, and we're going to give everybody an opportunity to plug their stuff. Start with Carolina. Carolina, where can we find you? If you got anything going on, links, whatever, let us have it.
And you know where to find me. I'm on Twitter. I'm lurking on there all day, all night, sometimes at 5 o'clock in the morning. At Bitchy Velour. I'm sorry about the name. I made it when I was 15. That's it. Follow me on Instagram, so I have clout on there too. At Carolina2Elva. There we go.
Awesome. Tommy Fresh.
Yeah, hi. Well, first of all, thank you for having me again on this wonderful bracket, thing that we do, and I can't wait for the next one as well. You can find me on Twitter at FreshBudsPod. I have 2 podcasts. One is Fresh and Buds. I think everybody's been on it. Carolina, we recorded this week. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to save that footage, so we might have to redo that one. But everybody here's been on it, and it's been a great time. And then I also have the Bud Rush Bellow, which is a live podcast that I do on YouTube with my friend Gary, aka Mr. Viz. He has a weird waifu pillow. You should check it out. That's what I'm doing in about 30 minutes now, 9:30 Eastern on Wednesdays. And yeah, thank you.
And I will likely be shitposting in chat in the very same 30 minutes. Elaine, where can we find you?
I'm Elaine Hammondtree. You can find me mainly on Twitter under Ham on Tree, my last name. It's like bacon on bush, but ham on tree, pork on shrubbery. I also have a podcast with Melody Lakes called the Pitch Perfect Podcast that is on YouTube, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. We also have a Twitter. It's in my bio. If you just go to Elaine Ham on Tree, bacon on bush, pork on shrubbery. Yeah, you get it.
All right, excellent. Logan, where can we find you?
So right now, you can find me at Logan Peterson on Twitter. I tweet about all kinds of inane bullshit. But then also, I am one half of the dynamic duo of Flesh and Pod with my buddy Derek Oswalt, a.k.a. Charmer, a.k.a. no one knows what to actually call him. They call him Tannen Patrick. They call him Brendan Grace. They call him Chamber. They call him Charger. They call him everything except for his actual handles, or Charmander sometimes. And he is very self-aware at that point in time, but he is a great human being. Listen to us because he keeps me from being a goddamn idiot. Not so much. But then you can also find me sitting on our Discords and also on shows like this, which, again, Pat, thank you for having me back. Being a repeat on this show, that is a high amount of prestige that you trust in somebody like me who is a degenerate, horrible human. So I appreciate you believing in me to do this. And Tommy, I will be shitposting in your show in roughly 30 minutes.
Believing in you, running out of guests who would answer me, one or the other. But
go yourself.
Adam, we're on the combat chain, but there's also some spicy snap content. Where can we find our latest podcast?
Yeah, we, I wasn't certain, Pat, if you were going to even give me an opportunity to plugs, because let's be honest, you can plug so much better than I can. But I am Fom Tuileries, if this reference doesn't float over everybody's head, the machine to Pat's Florence. And I have pushed Pat into the Marvel Snap realm. We are just like the Combat Chain. You can find Marvel Snap anywhere you can find you can find After Turn 6, our Marvel Snap podcast, anywhere.
This is why I do it, Adam.
Yeah.
Get ready for
I'm back here pushing the buttons usually, and I leave it all to you.
Pretty soon you'll have Snap and Fap to contend with Sir in that space. So
Snap and Jesus Christ.
Fap and Snaps coming.
Snap and
All right, where
snap.
can we find? Does After Turn 6 have a Twitter?
Yes, it is at After Turn 6, spelt SIX, because somebody already had the number 6 locked down.
All right, excellent. Yes, After Turn 6. Like there's 6 turns in Marvel Snap. Just go with it, Logan. You'll hurt your brain if you try to.
it's already broken.
Yeah.
Nope, we're done. Vowels are hard.
The Combat Chain is on YouTube. You can find us if you search at The Combat Chain. Be sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell notification to know when the latest episode is uploaded. We are available on all audio platforms wherever you stream your podcasts. The best way to support us is through our Patreon. You can find us at www.patreon.com/The Combat Chain, and you can subscribe to us there. It helps us tremendously to keep the lights and mics up and running. If you want to just support the pod, get a shout out on the podcast, or even exclusive access to our team testing channel, sign up on the Patreon today. You can find us on Twitter, of course. The channel's handle is at The Combat Chain, and you can find me at Pat Smashgood. And we're just going to do it with everybody here. Is everyone ready? We all know what we're going to do.
Let's go.
Until the next bracket, breakdown, breakpoint, whatever we're calling this anymore, we're closing the Combat Chain.